welcome to Monday Motivation with Bukola. It's a show about inspiration, women empowerment, beauty, business, culture, entertainment, and advocacy. I have a fabulous guest in the house for you today. She is Sade Y Adu, and she's a brand strategist and a best-selling author. In fact, top secret, she is my coach. So I'm really privileged to have her here today. We got a really big catch today on the show. Sade, thank you so much for coming on the show.
So much for having me, Bukola. I feel honored.
Thank you. So as we do on the show, our motivational quote for today is from planetofsuccess.com. So I've been going around looking at motivational quotes all over the place. It used to be brainy quote, but I've been going around these days. So this one is from planetofsuccess.com, and it says, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And this quote is by Tim Notk. I hope I got his last name right. I will take it again. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And this is by Tim Notk. You know, it's true. If you have a talent and you don't do anything about it, nothing is going to happen. Nothing happens on its own. You have to make what you want happen for you. So now, aside from recognizing your talent, begin to take action with your talent by doing something with it so that your talent is not useless. Again, welcome if you are just joining us. This is Monday Motivation with Bukola, and I'm your host today, and we have a fabulous guest in the house. Sade Y Adu, a brand strategist and best-selling author. Sade, thank you again for coming on the show. Thank you so much. It's such an honor to have you. So we want to know, who is Sade Y Adu?
So I am a personal brand strategist and speaker, and the founder of SadeYadu.com and breakfastbranding.com. And my goal is to help women entrepreneurs live these powerful, profitable, and prosperous lives by leveraging social media like the Facebooks and the Twitters and the Instagrams, and also live streaming like Facebook Live and YouTube Live and Periscope. And I want to help them put themselves out there because I don't want women to be the best kept secret of their industry. A lot of women entrepreneurs are afraid to put themselves out there, and it's impacting our income. It's impacting the amount of clients that we can serve. And we deserve to be powerful, profitable, and prosperous. And that is my goal when I work with women entrepreneurs.
Oh, thank you. Having that fear, what would you say is responsible for the fear that women are having to put themselves out there?
There's this natural fear of the unknown. Whenever you're about to do something new, it instantaneously makes you feel nervous because you've never done it before. You have no data in your mind or in your history to tell you how it's going to go. So it instantaneously makes people nervous, your fear of the unknown. And it's important for me to work with entrepreneurs and tell them, you know, it's okay. We've all been afraid of something, but it's time to move forward to make this happen because you're talented, you're smart, and people want to benefit from what you have to provide. And a lot of people think, who's going to, you know, there's 7 billion people in the world and counting, and people think, who is going to listen to me? Who's going to pay attention to me? Who cares about what I have to say? Most of the times we think that we're not famous. No one's calling us. You know, Beyonce doesn't know my name. Why would anyone want to work with me? When in actuality, there are so many people who are called and designed to work specifically with you, but they just need to know that you exist. So my goal and my job is to help women step into that, own their power, and let the world know that they are here and that they exist.
Thank you. You mentioned data, saying that sometimes women are scared to go into their passion because they don't have any data to work with. So what would you suggest for someone in that situation to do to gather the data she needs to take that plunge?
So many of the times, some of it is a reassessment. Two things. Either I would say definitely encourage you to work with a coach, someone who's already been there and done that, who's already been through that journey of the unknown. So you'll get through it faster when you have a guide, always. Like if you're in a different country and you don't know where you're going, or even a different city, you want a navigation or a GPS, and a coach can be that GPS or guide for you so that you can navigate the different roadblocks and the different traffic stops that you're going to go through in your business and in your life. The next thing is to do a reassessment of who you are, because many of the times what you want to do and what you want to help people with, like one of Bukola's talents is being in business for several years and being able to help entrepreneurs open up their businesses. You've already had the skills and talents. Many of the times, sometimes us as women, we don't think that we can monetize those talents. Like, who's going to pay to learn about over 10 plus years of experience in the beauty industry? There are plenty of people who want to start their own salons, who want to start their own braiding shops, and they want to know from you, and they're designed to be helped by you. But if they don't know you exist, they can't get those benefits and services. So many of the times, and Bukola came from a background of entrepreneurship, and I know some people will say, well, I don't have any entrepreneurs in my family. I'm the first entrepreneur. I get it. I overstand it because I am the first entrepreneur in my family. So that's what I mean. There's no roadmap. There's no one I can call in my family and say, how do I do this? Because no one's an entrepreneur. So they don't get what entrepreneurs go through. So that's why coaching is important. But looking at what you want to do in entrepreneurship and why it's important for you to do that, you may want to consider working with people and getting that and reassessing yourself. Look at your resume, look at your life experience, your life history. And many of the things Bukola talks about is from her life experience and history. And look at some of your career experience, some of the accolades, some of the things you've been praised for, and figure out how you can package that up, or work with a brand strategist so we can figure out and develop how you can package that up to monetize it and put it out there for the marketplace.
Oh, thanks. And I wanted to ask a question about coaching and selecting a coach, because now we have an array of coaches out there, different people saying they're coaching, I'm your coach, I want to be your coach, or I'm coaching. So for someone who is brand new, or someone who even is struggling with their business and they're thinking about what to do and which coach to go with all this array of coaches out there calling everyone to come, what would you recommend for someone who doesn't even know how to choose the coach? What are the criteria you will use to say, okay, this will be my coach, or that person will be my coach?
This is a great question. I get this quite often about coaching. Like, how do you choose the right coach for you? And the answer that I give is, what are you currently struggling with? What's your biggest struggle? Get clear about what your problem is, because you want to find a specialist. So you want to get clear about your problem. And then once you figure out, okay, I have a problem with visibility. Okay, so who out there is a visibility coach, a branding coach that can help me get more seen, get more people to see my message? Then once you identify what the problem is, you have to find those experts. Who in the marketplace is positioning themselves as a specialist? You want a specialist because if you go to the doctor and you have a heart problem, you want to go to a cardiologist. You don't want to go to a general practitioner. You want to go to someone specific. If you have a skin and hair problem, you go to a dermatologist. You want to go to a specialist. The same is applicable to coaching. So who can solve this particular problem? Who has positioned themselves as a marketplace expert and leader? That's why branding is so important, because when people have problems, they're looking for experts. So the next step, you gather your collection of experts, because there's dozens and dozens and tons of coaches that you can choose from, and you start opting in, attending their webinars, maybe paying to go to some of their live events, and seeing who you resonate the most with. Because when you're in a relationship with your coach, it's a relationship. You have to like it. There's some people I really admire them in the marketplace, but I know they could never be my coach because we don't connect. we don't mesh well together. I don't feel comfortable with them. I would never want to ask them questions. And if I don't want to ask them questions, I can't get my breakthrough that I came to get. So you want to make sure that you are able to speak to them and connect with them and feel comfortable enough to tell them your problems and be vulnerable. There's a level of vulnerability that you have with your coach. It's a connection. So you want to make sure you find that person, and then also look for someone who is in your price range. You know, there are coaches that I want to work with that are $50,000 right now. That's not in my price range. I'm not willing to make that investment yet. So I got to find people who can also still solve my problem, who are in my price point and it's more feasible for me, because we don't want anyone going bankrupt. We don't want anybody going into massive amounts of credit card debt, because it happens every day. And some coaches will encourage people to do that. That's not my thing. And we don't want to encourage that. So but you do want to be stretched. I will say making a higher level investment in a coach is stretching, and it's not always going to be inexpensive, but you want to make the best decisions for yourself. So the alignment of what you're struggling with, who can help you and who's positioned themselves as an expert to help you. Looking at what they do, get a feel for them, see if you like what they're putting out there in the marketplace, and also who's in your budget. And then the coach also has an opportunity to make a decision of whether or not you are right for them too. It's a mutual agreement. You know, when people come to me, there's certain people I say, no, I don't want to work with you because I can't produce your results, or you're just not my ideal client. And when you go into business, you want to work with people you enjoy working with. So those are some of the things. I also created a course called Get Coached Now that teaches entrepreneurs how to choose that right coach for them.
Wow, thanks. And I hope you can give us that link to share with the audience.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break right now, and we will be right back. Hello, if you are just joining us for the first time, this is Monday Motivation with Bukola. It's a show about inspiration, women empowerment, beauty, business, money, culture, entertainment, and advocacy. And we have a fabulous guest in the house for you today. She's Shade Adu, a brand strategist and a best-selling author. Shade has been talking about finding the right coach for you, and you mentioned something about price point, or looking for the one that goes with the price you have, which is something that I think is really important for entrepreneurs to know out there, because I've heard all different kind of coaches say things. There are some coaches that even I hear people rave about, but I don't resonate with them and I don't follow them. When I see their video, I don't even watch. I skip it. Why? Because I'm hearing, go sell your blood, go sell your body parts. And that is, encouraging people to commit crime. Yes. Yeah. They don't know sometimes that some of the things they're saying, they're asking people to sell their organs. That goes into organ trafficking. And I've heard a particular coach that is so popular on Periscope and Facebook saying this to entrepreneurs, to go and sell their body parts, to pay for coaching. I think that is a crime. You do not have to commit a crime. Yes, you do not have to commit a crime to achieve your goals. And that's why I really like what you said about the price, that there are different price ranges. And that's why I think it's also important to look at collect all different coaches, look at all the different coaches too. So how would you, what would be your recommendation in terms of finding the price for you, or finding the coach that you can afford? And then as you grow, then you can level up or pay for higher coaching.
So this is what I'll say. I am not advocating for you to pick the cheapest coach. Do not say that Shade said, oh, pick the cheapest one. No, pick something that's within your price range that can stretch you too. And be creative and start thinking of some ways where you can start investing in coaching. So I like to brainstorm with clients and people, like, if this is something that you want to do it in a way that is legal and that is not donating necessarily blood. Now, I say Uber Some people have to have their side jobs or side gigs, babysitting, hair braiding, Uber. There are non-traditional Airbnb. There's non-traditional ways to make money in in this new year, in this new century. So you have to be innovative and creative. If there's something that you want to do, and make those investments. So, talk to your coaches. They're like an installment plan. How can we make this work? What can we negotiate and to make this work? Now, some people are not going to be willing to negotiate, but some coaches will be. So you have to be willing to have a dialogue and a conversation. If you know this person has your next best level, you have to be willing to make some decisions and make that happen. I mean, I have a coach that I work with one-on-one, and I was like, I was not expecting to make the decision to work with her at that time. I didn't even know that was going to happen. And I was like, well, can I do on this card, and can I do on this card? Both of them were debit cards. Let me just say that. But I was like, I was not expecting to make this lump sum investment at one time, but can we split it up? We're doing something. Can I just delay the payment for 5 days? Like, you have to be willing to have a negotiation and conversation with people, because people are feasible. And I have a contract, and even with my contractors that I work with, I say, don't start the installments on the 1st of the month. Wait till like the 5th. Wait till the 10th, because that's when I get paid again. So you want to have those kind of conversations with people. And most of the time, people are very reasonable. People have a willingness to work with you. If they want to see you win, and they're not just about making money, they'll be willing to work with you. And you can't get what you don't ask for. But at the same time, coaching is definitely an investment. And for me, I don't want to be the cheapest coach. I want you to, because there's a mental and psychological thing about making investments. When you make higher level investments, the people who make higher level investments tend to have higher results. When I used to charge $80, $97 to work with me one-on-one, my clients were not producing the level of results that I wanted them to produce. Why? Because there wasn't a big enough sacrifice. There wasn't a big enough push. We spend that in coffee at Starbucks in a week. So there wasn't enough of an investment for them to really have transformational change. And I'm a transformational change agent. So when people work with me, I want their life to be different. And part of that requires them to make a higher level investment. And as soon as I started increasing my rates to above $2,000, now they're higher than that, the clients started to get opportunities. They were making their return on investment quicker. They were getting opportunities to travel. They were doing their books. They were speaking on stages. And I was like, wow, they were getting huger contracts. And I realized that if I didn't encourage them to make higher level investments, I was actually stifling their growth and potential. And when you are able to have a business that's making money, you can invest more. You can have your own events. You can invest in a team. You can expand more. So the more people that, when you have your clients make higher level investments, it allows you the opportunity to make higher level investments too. So when I increased my rates and got more clients, I was able to also invest in another coach that I'll be working with this year that I'm excited about. And that wouldn't be possible if I wasn't requiring more of my current clients, because as I elevate, they elevate too.
Yes, thank you. And what would be your word of advice or suggestions for coaches generally on attracting the right clients and working with clients and helping clients to work with them in a way that is legal?
You want to make sure, so there's a thin line between coaching and therapy. You are not a therapist unless you're a licensed clinician. And I do have clients that are becoming licensed clinicians, or they have a background in healthcare, they're nurses, they're doctors. So in that case, you have opportunities to extend those boundaries and borders. But if you're not a licensed clinician, therapist, psychologist, psychiatrist, you want to make sure you're not doing therapy. So you want to keep your coaching goal-oriented. You want to keep it strategy and in the present and in the future. What are we going to do now? How can we make the future happen? You don't want to necessarily linger on what happened in their past. So you need to be very clear about what advice you can give to someone. as a coach. The coaching industry is unregulated at this point, in that people are saying that will change in the future. Anyone can become a coach. You don't have to be certified. There are certifying bodies, but you do not have to adhere to the rules of the certifying bodies. You can decide to do your own thing, but you want to always operate in integrity and coach on what you've been through, coach on what you know, coach on how you can help people. So if you are someone, I know a lot of financial coaches, many of the financial coaches that I know were in debt. They filed for bankruptcy. They lost their homes. So they know what it's like to lose everything. And then they rebuilt their brands and empires on helping people get back out of debt and get more freedom in their lives. And they're not coming from the perspective of necessarily a financial analyst. They're coming from someone who was in the trenches of debt, who got out of it. So they're teaching people how to get out of that. A lot of times when I talk to a lot of wellness and health professionals and coaches, many of them are some people who battled and struggled with weight loss and health issues. And now they want to help people overcome those particular issues too. So many of the coaches are people who have struggled with that particular topic that now they have become an expert in, and now they want to help you. So definitely coaches keep, operate in integrity, make sure you are asking your clients to make investments and creating strategic plans and systems that produce results.
Thank you. And we will be right back. We need to take a break now. Okay, welcome back. If you are just joining us for the first time, this is Monday Motivation with Bukola. It's a show about inspiration, women empowerment, beauty, business, money, culture, entertainment, and advocacy. And like I said, we have a fabulous guest in the house. She is Sade Y. Adu, a brand strategist and a best-selling author. Sade, thanks for all the value you've been giving us and the wealth of knowledge. There is something I would like to ask you. I found out that you are a student, a doctoral student, and you are also a recipient of the prestigious Gates Millennium Scholarship. So could you give us a little bit about inside information into how a woman can get that kind of scholarship to further their education?
Thank you. So yes, there are about 20,000 Gates and Bill and Melinda Gates scholars around the world at this point. And I actually applied 10 years ago, over 10 years ago, for that opportunity. And now they have closed up the application. So they're restructuring it, rebranding, and developing some new ways to support students. This was a scholarship that I applied to my senior year of high school. And it's been transformational in my life, being able to receive up to 10 years of academic funding. And what I want to say is the person who was able to invest in my college education was a college dropout. So you don't have to have those credentials. And I want to say he was an entrepreneur. He is an entrepreneur, him and his wife. And they have been so philanthropic because they have so much abundance. Being able to support people in the billions, for me alone, it's been at least $250,000. And I told you they've invested in 20,000 people's education, 20,000 students over the past 14 or 15 years have been impacted by this foundation. And I want to say that that's the type of impact that I want to have in the world. That's the kind of impact that I want my clients to have in the world. Understanding that what we do today, the seeds that we sow, the businesses that we create, the things that we innovate on, will impact generations. Even when he's no longer here, that those seeds that he was able to sow in my life and the lives of the rest of the 20,000 plus people are going to impact new generations. We have new doctors, new lawyers because of one person who decided to do something out of the extraordinary.
Yes, that's true. And you mentioned something about, oh, the person who did this is a college dropout. So would you suggest that people who think they have talent or who just want to choose entrepreneurship should not focus on college or should ditch college?
Okay, so this is a really good question because I am an educator. I have a background in education. I am a doctoral student, so I am still in the education process. This is what I'll say. I loved my experience in college. I would not change it for the world. Being an undergrad is phenomenal. It was a phenomenal experience. And I wonder, if I started entrepreneurship early, and I've had this conversation with a 16-year-old. She's phenomenal. She's a speaker. She's an author, entrepreneur. She gets paid to speak around the country. She goes on tours at the age of 16. And I asked her, are you going to college? And she said to me, I don't know. And I looked at her and I said, and at first I was a little taken aback about it, but then I said, look at what she's been able to accomplish as a teenager. She already has the connection. She already knows what she wants to do with her life. She's already serving and standing on stages and making money as a 16-year-old. She might not necessarily need to go, because we go to college to get a job. And she already knows what she wants to do with her life. But most 16-year-olds are not like her. Most people are not going to be like this rock star girl who sits on stages and gets, hugs by Michelle Obama. Most people are not going to be like her. So what I will say is I still see the huge benefits of being in college. There's definitely experiences that they're unmatched. It's an opportunity for you to meet people from around the world, learn about different perspectives, stay up late and have fun and be able to recuperate and roll into class. Those are experiences. I have friends that I went to college with that are still my friends today. I started school 10 years ago, and we're still friends today. As a matter of fact, we spoke before this, and I would never trade those opportunities for the world. And honestly, I encourage entrepreneurs to go to school because there are resources that are at your disposal. I get emails all the time about entrepreneurs that are coming to campus. There are entrepreneur pitching contests where you can get money for your business idea. You have an opportunity to get exposure to different faculty members who may be experts in your field, and you can get feedback on your ideas from them. There are resources in the library, cameras and equipment that you can use for free as a student. So if you are thinking about going to college and you are a student, use the opportunities that are afforded to you. And you can get this stuff for low cost to no cost. You can get people to edit your stuff, your blog posts or your podcast. You can get people in the AV, audio visual department. You can probably participate on their newspaper, the radio. So use the free resources at your disposal. And as a matter of fact, for me, one of the things I'll be doing in this year is talking to more college students about how they can be these campus CEOs and preneurs while they're still balancing their books. So they're able to pay off their student loan debts, still make money while they're in school, but also still be educated and socialized and have that degree that they may want. And definitely, if you're going into a field where it requires you to have an education, like being a teacher, like being an accountant, a lawyer, doctor, you got to go to school, point blank, period. There's no way around that. So, but it doesn't mean that you can't be an entrepreneur too. Now, if someone is older and they're thinking about, should I go back to school and get that degree? Why do you want the degree? What is the point? Is the point because it's something that I want to do? So it's a goal that I really want to accomplish for my life, then definitely accomplish that goal. Is it just a piece of paper that I feel that I have to have? Is it validation? Find out exactly why you want to do it and make decisions. Now, I always say, be someone, even if you're not doing traditional learning or traditional schooling, be someone who is always learning every single day, whether I'm in a classroom or not. It is my obligation and duty in life to learn something new. So what are you learning new every single day that can impact your life, transform your life, make your life better?
Thank you so much. So what is your last word for our audience today?
my last word is to make sure you're doing it bigger and being bolder in this new year. You know, cut back on the fear, take that leap and jump anyway, because the world's waiting for you. We need more messengers of goodness, especially going into this new year. We need more powerful people to rise up and do some amazing things in the world. And I'm looking forward to supporting those powerful people. And I'm looking forward to seeing the change that you're going to create in society.
Oh, thank you so much. So how can we reach you?
You can stay connected to me. You can go to SadeWhyYouDo.com and grab my freebie that's on my website. Once you get there, you can also go to breakfastbranding.com and join us in our private special Facebook group for entrepreneurs who want to have more, who want to do more, and want to be more in life.
Thank you so much. Thanks for coming on the show. We really appreciate you. Thanks.
I feel so special for